Hey
Got
folks,
it.
it's Todd Von Dijk at the AVTE. Hope you are doing well. When we're taping this, it's Wednesday, May 17th. Why not mark the date and the time? And, we promised for the next couple of weeks we'd be checking in with some speakers and some other folks who have a big part to play in our upcoming AVTE 2023 conference, which just happens to be August 4th, 5th, and 6th out at the Westin Rancho Mirage. And it just didn't seem right not to call up our dear friend Steve McLaughlin over at Zuku Review, say hi for a few minutes and let him share some of the fun stuff he's going to be doing at the conference. And then we'll talk about a few things too. Hello, dear friend. Like this time of year, we catch back up every year, it seems.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Todd. Good to see you again. Always is.
Always is. Tell us what's new at Zuku. Let's start there with the fun stuff.
Well, as you know, we help students prepare effectively for the big national exams, whether it's the VTE or the NAVLE, doesn't matter. And some new things we're really excited about is last fall, we put out a brand new app. It's super speedy and the students love it. And the latest cool and shiny thing we've been working on is the ability to do our material in other languages. We've got a French version coming out soon.
Cool.
And once that'll be like a beta thing. People can test it out and take your Zuku in French if you want, because in some tests you can take it in French.
Yeah.
And then if that works well, we're going to add Spanish. So we're really
very
excited.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that's what's new in Zuku.
Very cool. So you and I have been doing this conference together for a couple of years, but I know you've done it before even me and all of that, and I was around. You can go a lot of places. Why do you keep coming back? What's special about AVTE to you?
Well, it's sort of a unique conference in my opinion. It's not that common to get to encounter only educators, and not just only educators, but veterinary technician educators. So it's a super specific group and it's a fun group of people. I always enjoy seeing familiar faces, but particularly talking to educators. That's my bread and butter. I mean, that's what we do. So it's a favorite audience.
Very cool. And you're giving a talk this year. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about it, but especially after the talk and you get home that first day, thanks to you, what are they going to do? What's the translational piece? And you're going down on the record, man, so you better play big.
Well, I mean, my talks tend to be pretty fun and laid back, and they're definitely discussions because I'm talking to people that they do this every year to help their students prepare for VTE. But this is going to be a talk about, how do you help students succeed on a test that's about everything, that's daunting if you're a student, but it's also daunting if you're an educator. There's a limited amount of time you have in any given day, any given week. How do you home in? So we're going to talk not just about the challenge, but how can you address it? Because it sort of boils down in our experience to how do you study effectively? And we try to apply concepts of triage, same way we triage cases in the clinics. And the more of those you do, the more experience you get, the better you get at it. We try to help people triage information. So we'll talk about that. Not everything is equally important. So that's one piece. But then hand in hand, the other piece to get ready for any big
So if you see a jump cut right now, we had a little bit of an internet hiccup, and I don't know if it was Steve's or mine, but either way, we're back. We don't just edit for, to get the perfect answer. We want the real story. But that's what happened. So Steve, the question we started with, and then Zoom didn't like us, was tell us about your session. What should folks do?
Right.
What's it going to be about? And especially what can they do the day they get back, thanks to hanging with you? No pressure.
Right. So we were talking about using low stakes practice testing as a learning tool and incorporating that in class along with triaging information. The idea is you're kind of jogging to train for a marathon. But those two things alone are usually not quite enough. I always like to talk to people about, you can call it strategic elimination or you can call it strategic guessing, but even the best test takers, even the best students don't know everything. So we always practice a little bit with how do you incorporate some strategic guessing, let's call it, in class. And so one of the best things anybody could do is just go home from this talk, and try to look for opportunities to incorporate a little bit of quizzing in every single talk and seminar you give, so that if you talk today about basic CBC, red cell counts, white cell counts, different kinds of cells, you make sure you quiz as you go. Okay, what kind of cell is this? What kind of cell is that? That sort of reinforces stuff. So that's an important concept. If I had to sum it all up, I want to try to encourage people to think about the productive value of flailing, because we learn from that. And it's our job to make an environment where it's safe to do that. And so that people maybe they get inoculated about what it feels like to take these tests. I wish I had a secret that shortened this for everybody, but there is no shortcut. You got to drive the whole way. And sometimes if we model that for students, I think it helps. That we just say, hey, this is how it works. You don't need to know everything, but here's some steps to learn to know enough. So that's the way we're going to approach it.
Sounds good. Now the last piece, the last couple of years, we have a little bit of a gathering. We hang out, we eat some good appetizers, the bar's open, and we have a quiz night. And you are the quiz master.
That is correct.
There are some big prizes. Like we have given out like conference registrations in the following year, memberships, probably some other things that I'm blanking on right now. I tend to give out a lot of things, then go ask if it was okay that I gave them out. You got any tips this year for anybody wanting to get ready and get their team and maybe,
Sure.
Practice sessions 2-a-days on Saturdays or something?
That's right. So for the big trivia game night, it never hurts to enjoy watching whatever the latest series or movies that are out there, anything to do with animals, anything to do with veterinary medicine is game. But also we turn the Zuku review tech elves and content elves loose on the internet. And I tell them, we need trivia questions for veterinary technician educators that are both animal related, but also fun. So, that might mean bone up on the Muppets, bone up on Harry Potter, bone up on anything to do with The Simpsons, things like that.
My kids, who, if you were there last year, were the quiz show assistants and are negotiating their return to California. It's a tough contractual fight with them. We're like, can we get Big Time Rush in this quiz show? And if you don't know what that is, look it up. It was a Nickelodeon teeny bopper boy band show for a number of years, Steve. So no pressure. You get one in on BTR. I'm a hero, man. I'm a hero. And let's do that too. To anybody who's watching this right now and stays till the end of this, if you use the code BTR when you register, you'll see a little discount in your registration.
Good to know. Well, Todd, we're looking forward to being there. It's always fun to see you guys. It's going to be fun to be out on the other coast this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of good time. And we can't wait to see everybody August 4th, 5th, 6th. Rancho Mirage, the Westin Rancho Mirage out in California. AVTE.net, you can register. Steve, always good to see you. Grateful for you spending a few minutes. Everybody take care.
Everybody. Bye now.